Welcome. I'm going to walk through how to use classroom.google.com to host a merit badge class for a merit badge, online merit badge college or fair, or if you're just wanting to teach one online and use classroom.google.com to help facilitate you in aiding these scouts in earning their badge. I think one of the neat things about this is that it actually allows you to keep track of things rather than you having to write everything down. You can allow Google to kind of do most of the management for you, but it can help walk you through, keep your head in the game, but also keep scouts on track so they know exactly what they're supposed to do in order to earn a merit badge. So as you can tell, I've already gone to classroom.google.com, and before we get much started, I'm going to make sure that you guys are aware that anybody can use this. Now, if a student is using Google at their school, they may not be able to use your merit badge class without having their own personal Gmail account, because the school emails are usually locked down quite a bit. So they may have to register for their own, and of course, in order to do that, the scout needs to get parent or guardian approval, and then from there go forward and using that alternate email address. So we go forward here. As you can tell, if I just do a search for can anyone use Google Classroom, it says yes. Back in 2017, Google announced that anyone can use Google Classroom. So going forward, that kind of dispels any rumor that you can't use this. Now, that with that said, there could be a hiccup if somebody's using a heavily managed email address like a student at school. So let's go forward here. As you can tell, I've already have two different merit badge classes that I've started. One of these I started in another tutorial, and then I realized I probably skipped over some stuff that should have been talked about. So I'm going to redo this, and hopefully you guys enjoy. As you can tell here, if I hit plus, I can actually join a class or create a class. To join a class, I can actually put a code in, and then from there I can join a class. As an adult, if I'm doing this, I'm doing this because I'm wanting to allow a class to have 2 deep leadership. But of course, if I'm a counselor, I want to be able to create a class. If I click create a class, it'll actually give me that same notification that I talked about earlier, that if a school is set up for G Suite for Education, they may not be able to use their G Suite account in order to log into your specific merit badge because it's been heavily managed. But if I click, I've read this and understand, I can click continue, and from here I can type in another merit badge that I'm going to end up teaching. So Citizenship in let's do that one. I'll do Citizenship in the World. I can actually create this as a subject, as a merit badge. But as you can tell, there's some subjects you can already put in there. It automatically pulls in education terms. And then I can just click create. And from there, I've created my first classroom, as it takes a while to actually open up. The reason why is it actually is creating a folder on your Google Drive to help manage all the stuff that's going on in your class. I can create and schedule announcements here, so I can communicate with your class here, so I can remind the students that they need to, or the scouts that they need to tackle something, or if there's going to be an opportunity for using like a Google Hangout to get on and talk, or maybe Zoom, you can get on and talk that way, and then going forward that way. As you can tell, Citizenship in the World, it actually went ahead and created a really cool background for me. So I'm getting emails here. So, but if we go back here, I'm going to look at every one of my merit badges that I'm offering. I'm going to show you one that I've actually already created and show you what's happening here. I've actually created an announcement showing you that scouts can go here and actually watch a really cool video on DSLRs, a tutorial. Here's all the classwork. What I've done on classwork is found every requirement. I've tried to sort them by what their subject is on this merit badge. So I've created a heading for each one of these, and then put them under that heading. They don't have to live under a heading, but for instance, safety, if I wanted to create a new one for safety, I can click on this and see that there's more here, but I would actually go back to all topics and create, and let's say I'm going to do I can do any one of these, but I'll do a material, and I can give them source for, let's say, how to stay safe while out shooting photography or so, and I can say safety while shooting photography, and then please read over this short informative PDF. And so what these would do is kind of like in the back of a merit badge book, there's additional reading or sources where they're getting a lot of the information from. And so if I was to go find that source or find something that I would deem good for this, I could. But as you can tell, I say for, and I'm going to have a topic. I'm going to say put it under safety, and from here I can actually add that PDF. Right? I don't have one right here for this, but I'll find one later, and I'll add that to this. I could make it a YouTube or a file or a link, or even to the Google Drive. So, and I'll show you how that goes. I'm going to hit post, and now they have that on here. If I go down here, you can see this one, cancel your current up to date. I can do view assignment. None of the scouts have actually completed that because they've never even taken this class. I don't even know this exists. But I can actually click here and say edit. So I'm going to hit add. I'm going to say Google Drive. And then I'm going to just click on my drive. And here's my classroom. And this is the photography merit badge. And if I had something in here for them to actually select, I could. Otherwise, there's no reason for me to do this. But I could say, upload your current cyber chip via a photo to the class Google Drive. So let's say scouts. Please and then click save. As you can tell, I have no due date on this. I could create a due date. Otherwise, with these scouts, there's no reason to. What else would you would like? I've also created a quiz, so I can actually view this question. Let's actually go through this quiz here. Explain various parts of a DSLR, and what this done is I've created this parts of a DSLR real easy, but scouts are able to go through and actually choose which one of these. I'll have to kind of drag up and down, but they should be able to figure out and label a part of a DSLR pretty quickly. And I can add more to this if I wanted to, but it's really simple how to do that. And what's neat about using this as well is that down here, as you can tell, one of the requirements is storytelling presentation, using images other than those created for the other assignment, create a storytelling. And so here I'll actually say, Scouts, use Google Slides and create a story using photos you have taken following the requirements above. Let me know if you have any questions. Good. Perfect. I've added that, so now scouts can read that. If I go back to my classwork, one thing I haven't talked about that's really neat that you can do is, if you notice here, there's a stream, This shows you that anything that's changed, for instance, if a scout has added something, I'll be able to see here my classwork that I've created. There's also a Google Calendar in the class drive folder. This is where they'll upload stuff. As you can tell, attempted a do two of the following draft. I will not have to use that. Under people, this will show the students or the scouts, and this is where if I'm wanting to advertise this class, I would actually say go to classroom.google.com and then type in that code. They're able to get on. So from here, I could also add, as you can tell, I've added Brian, invited, but I can add other teachers. And in order to keep Too Deep leadership, I would suggest that you go in here and just add another teacher. If the students or the scouts have their parent in attendance, that should qualify as Too Deep as well. But if you add another teacher, they can actually go through here and actually look at every one of these things that you're doing or any kind of communication that's happening. But let's go back here to classwork and show you another thing that's neat. Under Google Calendar, I've actually created for this class a Hangout. Go back here and you can see at 6 a.m. I'm going to have a Google Hangouts for photography. And actually, if I want to, I'm going to right click on that. I should be able to copy this. So I'm going to say duplicate, and I'm going to make it on the 31st. So now I have 2 Google Hangouts. But if we go in here and look and see what this is actually doing, I'm going to double click on it. March 24th, 6 to 7 at March 2020, I'll have a Hangout set up, and here's the Hangout. So through the Hangout, they can either use voice chat, video chat, or even text chat to communicate with the rest of the group, and we can get on and actually talk about what's where they're going with their merit badge. If they have any questions about photography, some neat stuff that they found out, or we can even go over some of the requirements that they have been working on, and as they fill out that worksheet, they can actually complete some of the requirements in here too. And I would highly advise that everybody do this. This allows you to have more of a dynamic, less of a workbook style merit badge class. As you can tell, there's no guests so far, but I haven't even advertised this class. But so I'll go back and tell that I have 2 for this Google Hangout. So let me go back here, and I think for the most part that's everything. As a thing I would really just make sure everybody does is go in here and add more people under teachers, so you have Too Deep leadership on your badges. The other thing is just be creative. Understand that using this method is a little different than one-on-one or the traditional counseling method that we would always like to do, but most of the scouts have been using online learning for a while, so this should be easy for most of the scouts. It's probably harder on those of us that have not used online learning as a tool. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment or email me if you have my email address. So appreciate it. Thank you, and good luck. Thank you.